Hello, 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 hello. Okay, can I move this without making a horrible noise? Kind of. Okay, hopefully that wasn't too bad. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Daily Political Tarot and Astrology here on the Black and Orange channel. Thank you for being here. I am here every single day of the year to take your political questions out of the chat. Just leave your questions in the chat before I come on. We have got a boo-boo. Yes, we got a Bailey Boo-Boos and Kitty washing his face. Anyway, we've got fantastic troll slayers who have kept us safe for years. Thank you. And we have got a fantastic community. You have been so kind to each other and so kind to me. Thank you. All right. And if you're watching on replay, hello. You can go down in the description box. All the questions are listed there. I timestamp them as I go, so you can pick and choose what you're interested in, or you can watch back on higher speed, whatever works. So, oh dear. Okay, so, in my personal life, it's not me. It's, yesterday I had to deal with drama. I really don't like drama. I've had enough drama in my life. Thanks. No more. And they're over there somewhere. It's icky. It's liars, con men, thieves, just all this. And I'm just like, no, goodbye. I want nothing to do with this. And so today I'm just extra grateful for you, and extra grateful that I am an honest person. I really am. I believe what I'm saying here. I think you know that. I do not blow smoke. I do not lie to people. I don't play games. I have this list of rules and guidelines I really try to live by. And number one on that list is drama belongs in fiction. So, and then we get to read on these jerks. It's like, oh, well, at least I don't have to be in the same room with them. At least they're that. We can think that positive thing. Hello. Okay. Oh, there's a boo-boo. There's a Bailey boo. So, on today's episode, the dumpster fire is he is clashing with Fed Chair Jerome Powell again, as Powell is refusing to drop interest rates. Yaw. The USPS, or the United States Postal Service, could end up merged with the Commerce Department, putting it completely under Dumpy's control. And the $5 million gold card visas are now a go. Yay. Don't eat my plant. Quit it. All right. Number one. I was talking to Sarah earlier today, who has got to be one of the most awesome friends anybody's ever had. But she just said, sometimes when I'm feeling really bad about things, I go watch that video of Trump being hit in the face by a boom mic. And so she sent me the link. So, yeah, we'll just... I might run this between every one of the... Nobody got hurt. So I might run this between every one of the questions. I haven't decided yet. At 4 minutes, 35 seconds, Chris Cool had a question. So the Felon 45, is furious with Fed Chair Jerome Powell, whom he cannot fire nor remove. Because Jerome Powell is refusing to drop interest rates because he actually understands economics. Yeah. You also have to understand. I did, Joyce. Yes, that was in the that's in the comments beneath. But the other thing you have to understand why Trump wants interest rates dropped. And in the past, not only has he talked about 0% interest rates, he has talked about trying to have negative interest rates. It's like, why would you? Because the super rich live on loans. Quite literally. Let's just have a very, very, very brief little reminder. The super rich, where Chuck Grassley was saying that we're thinking about raising the tax rate on the super rich from 37% to 39%. That will do absolutely nothing. Not that they would go through with it anyway. That would do nothing. Because what the super rich do is they have all of these assets. So they go to a bank. They say, loan me $200,000 a year. I mean, whatever it is. However much. And the bank is like, well, look at all these assets. Sure, okay. So the super rich, they take that money from the bank, and that's what they live on. That's how they buy food, they pay their servants, or actually that might go through a business part, but just all the daily life stuff that the rest of us just have to pay, they're paying with this loan money. And that loan money, because it's supposed to be paid back, is not income. And therefore, they can leave those assets either depreciating, if they're physical assets, depreciating, or in something like a Roth IRA, which just can accrue, money's put in post taxes or whatnot, but then it can accrue. That account can get bigger and bigger and bigger, and you can withdraw it later in life with zero taxes then. But they live off of these loans. And then the next year they take out another loan. And the next year they take out another loan. And if you do this, if the bank will allow you to do this 20, 30 times, you can end up never paying any of it back. But it's set up that certainly when you die, that the things will be paid back. But it's set up in your estate in these trusts. The banks get paid back. But you've got all of these years where you're not paying any taxes on money that otherwise you and I are spending on our lives. So if not only does Dumpy want to keep, he is, to this day, you cannot convince me he is not still leveraged out the wazoo. His properties don't make money. So he's been leveraged out the wazoo. That's the whole business model in this level of real estate. And plus he and his buddies there's supposed to be an interest rate on those loans that they're living on. So of course he wants those interest rates to go to zero. It isn't to help us. No. No. Sin Shirley says, was escrow officer for years before being disabled. Oh, bless. They also had 125% loans in 2013 to 2015. I believe it. Lewis says, sometimes I just want to take my $24 and run away. I should be able to get down the block. If you walk, sure. It's about as far as I'd get to. So now he says they also pay no taxes on those loans. Yep. It's easier for them to file bankruptcy to not pay the loans back. Yep. Unless they die first. Yeah. So, but the dumpster fire's all bigly mad. Which says, because goddess forbid the little people are able to, live. Yeah. Oh, look. The card for the reading is the devil. Corruption. Ding, 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 ding. There's only one pentacle here. Page of Swords. That's weak policy. Page of Pentacles. That's not a way to make huge money. Page of, this is weak sauce. Page of Wands. Trump at his weakest. But he's still trying to pull out his bludgeon. And there's the Sun card. So he can go around. I'm so great. What is he going to try to? Is he going to try to do something to the Fed? I don't like that Sun card there. Because what this is saying so far is get stuffed. At 11:45, will Delby try to control or take over the Federal Reserve, which I know is not technically, he shouldn't technically be able to do that, but try to control or take over the Federal Reserve to control interest rates. I see your question, Chris Cole, in the chat, and that would come out in the answer if that was kind of where it was leaning. I'm so happy to be here with nice people. Yes, Jennifer Parr, slithering through every loophole. Yeah. Visualize 70s asking, isn't Donald Trump trying to get rid of the IRS? Last I heard. Boo Boo is not here, so I'm guessing he's gone to nap in one of the other rooms. Okay. Either my bedroom or the sewing room. Okay. I have my issues with the Federal Reserve, and I think people who really look into this, the Federal Reserve isn't their favorite thing in the universe. There are certain things it does which are kind of they're just necessary, a necessary evil, because we don't really have a good option, at least not one I'm aware of. But at this point, because we're dealing with an authoritarian wannabe, the people who have a vested interest in the Federal Reserve being the way it is might actually be some minor bulwark against the authoritarian. Does that make sense? I hope. So there's only so much he can do. And he's in a weak position because he can't just... He's not in control of the Federal Reserve. It's an independent entity. And which is Boo Boo did his obligatory video bomb, is now napping. Yes. But there is aggressive something here, some kind of executive order, legislation, law, something There's Trump's legacy, and there's the hanged man. Who's the hangman here? Let's see if I can get some more information. Is Dumpy trying to find something awful he can do to take control of the Fed? Of course he is. Oh, Kaludi, thank you so much. Thank you. It really helps. Dave says, other than the fact the Federal Reserve isn't federal and it's not a reserve, holds back the worst of the worst, yeah. Jane Doe says, Fed Chief Powell's term ends next year. Who will Trump appoint then? Oh, does Donald Trump have control over who becomes the Fed chair? I thought they chose themselves out of their board or whatever. Oh, really? Okay, hang on. I'm going to mute so I don't set off anybody's computer. Yes, apparently the president does choose the next. Oh, man. See, I'm just having some slight technical difficulties. Sorry about that. Hello, Popo. You're back. And you're front. This says the president appoints him. Oh, no. Oh, boy. All right. So we've got a whole other issue. Do we know when Powell's tenure is up? When next year? Give me that. Give me that. No. After this, I will go outside. I will get you some grass. I will bring it back in. Oh, this does not bode well. Take care, Melly. Next year, thank you, Jane Doe. Powell's term ends May 15th next year. Yes, Flora is under attack. I don't like these cards. Does the president just appoint the head of the Federal Reserve, or is it can he just choose someone at random? Or does it he nominates someone and the board votes? Yes, dear. I know. I know. He's here and it's awful. Okay. That's aggressive. That's Trump's legacy. Knight of Pentacles. I don't like this. There's Trump the man and his strength and the people out in the cold, poverty. Great. Oh yeah, I know about the cat grass inside. I've got to actually, where I'm putting up the raised beds. I don't like these cards. Where I'm putting up the raised beds, I'm actually going to bring some of that grass inside, because I keep trying to grow cat grass inside, but they don't like the kind of grass that grows in those things. It's usually one or two particular kinds of grass, and they find it rubbery. They like the stuff, a different kind from the lawn. Anyway, this is bad. Thank you, Lewis. The President of the United States appoints the Federal Reserve Chair, and this appointment requires confirmation by the Senate. The chair serves a 4-year term. And right now, the Republicans are in control of the Senate. Julie says, kitty buttons. Don't eat plant, don't eat plant. Yeah. Okay. Well, when I jokingly come in and I ask Sarah, have you seen the news? What fresh heck is this? Well, we've got a whole new thing now. So next year, okay. Driscoll says, as stipulated by the Banking Act of 1935, the chairman is chosen by the president from among the sitting governors to serve 4-year terms with the advice and consent of the Senate. Thank you, Chris Cool. I'm guessing when it says governors, they mean governors of the Federal Reserve. Okay. Lewis says, have you tried the aluminum foil trick? The leaves hang over. The plant's so big, leaves hang over. But Raymond says, how do you tune a violin for bluegrass? You just have to fiddle with it. Oh. Okay. All right. Oh, here we go. Oh, here we go. All right, here, and just, I don't know, it's helping me as much as it was helping Sarah this morning, but nobody was hurt, so. Okay, one thing I can do is I can grab you. Come here. Back up, back up, back up, back up, back up. Hi. And I can grab this. Ta-da. And I can put this right here. Hi. There we go. Ha. Ha. Ta-da. Oh, the disappointment. Yay. Oh, I love you. Yes, I do. You and your brother. I love you very, very much. You and the redhead. Oh, purry kitty. Fed Board of Governors. Thank you. Blocked. Yes. Oh, he's a kitty. He's a kitty. Oh, all right. We need to look at the Fed Chair thing next year. Yes. I will go get the lid for my teacup out of the other room if I have to. Oh. Okay, this is adorable. Oh, geez, sorry, that was him. This is adorable. Oh, you boo-boo wrangling, yes. Okay. At 24:40. Okay, the next Fed Chair. The kitty. Oh, depressed. Kitty mission. Yes. Kitty intermission. small bathing, little face washing, toe beans. So, the next, after Powell, the next Fed chair. Because I don't think, it could be Powell again, but somehow I doubt it. Because he's not doing exactly what the dumbest Führer once done. 2026, the next Fed chair. See, unfortunately, it's not after the midterms. That's the problem. It's back in May, not after like February 2027. Oh, card for the reading. This could be a problem. Yeah, that could be a problem. Yeah. Waiting for a ship to come in. Sitting pretty. Use or misuse of resources. Oh, there's a plan. Trust me. I do get this Three of Cups, but I want to know more about this Three of Cups because the rest of these cards are dire. Warrior, which is someone on Reddit called Dumpy the Fanta Fiora. I love that. Oh, thank you, Jeff. Boobies and Kitty's such a cutie. He's a good boy. He and his brother. They're very good boys. Okay. It feels like I don't know how Democrats or non-MAGA people could get in the way of this, but they are looking on the card for the reading is the Chariot. So they are really looking forward to this. And right behind that is the Devil. So, yeah, they're looking forward to that. And Strength. So again, they think they're set. But there's a Knight of Cups there and there's a Nine of Cups there, which makes me feel like I don't know how Democrats or businesses or I don't know how anybody could get in the way, but there is definitely active MAGA aggressive action. There's some movement here, so it's not as slam dunk and Trump gets everything he wants as you might think. And this is the second set of cards I pulled. So there's some there's a fly in the soup here, and I don't know what it is. Lindsay Kingsley says Trump just signed to leave NATO. Oh, Warrior Witch, I've seen him. I like him. He's very nice. Really? Grace says it can't happen. Dave says maggots leave trails. I love being here. I don't think he can leave NATO. I think wasn't there something that passed? Some kind of something through Congress. Trump, NATO. One day ago, the White House proposal axes UN NATO funds and has the State Department budget. 3 days ago, the White House proposes drastic cuts to the but I'm not seeing anything about that. Talking about 2 days ago, Trump administration suggests cutting off U.S. funding. So that's a thing, potentially. But he can't just... Linda says he just signed one of his idiot signings. Really? So he's trying to leave NATO by executive order? Does anybody... Can you tell me, like, where you're seeing this? Because, like... Is it on Raw Story? Is it on Daily Beast? Is it on MSNBC? Or yeah, I'm not seeing anything so far. So, oh boy. Just as executive orders are not laws. Exactly. It says having a press conference on Talk Now. It's just me, says the 2024 National Defense Authorization Act says he can't. That's what I thought. Scanman says the NATO treaty was ratified by the Senate. Okay. Retelling a story I looked to. Yeah, I was getting the same thing, that fatuous 45 plans to cut the funding. So he can't. Huh. That would be a big deal. Okay, if I hit play and put it on, let me see. Mr. Bill says I'd kill the stock market. Okay, sorry, times now. All right, well, this isn't playing.
Michelle Center covers the White House for us.
Trump meets with Italy's Meloni at the White House. So I'll keep an eye on this. All right. I'll just leave that there in case something happens. Okay, we'll move on. Oh, Julie, thank you so much. Julie gifted 10 memberships to random people in the chat. Thank you so much. Kathy Paris says, especially as Putin is now threatening Poland and Lithuania. Of course. So, what is going on here? All right. Well, we'll leave that for I'll keep an eye out here on the news to see if it pops up. But I will, we're going to move on to the next question because it's also a, really? I don't think you can do that. Because the next question, oh, wait, okay, here we go, and put that back here, and there we go, okay. Yeah, I guess it's okay. It's again, it's not if it's doing the same thing it was doing for me for Sarah. It did for Sarah this morning, but it's still okay. Anyway, at 3410, Julie Hoffman had a question. How you doing? 3410. Hi. J for Genius reportedly wants to move the USPS, the United States Post Office, to the Commerce Department, which would move it from being an independent to under his thumb, and then have the Postal Service employees answer SS inquiries and do census canvassing. So we'd have Postal Service employees answering Social Security inquiries and do census canvassing. The intent is to eventually privatize. Well, yeah. Will Dumpy issue an executive order to accomplish this? and get away with bypassing Congress. I do believe he would end up in court. Beth says, I'll get rid of my mailbox. Yes, Louis, what could possibly go wrong? Okay. M. Kelby says, Murkowski said that Republicans are afraid. Of what? If Trump does enough damage, they won't have anything left to protect. So Burns says elected folks must think federal workers do absolutely nothing while at work. Exactly. Trump says he has evidence that China is sending supplies to, I couldn't see it. Did that just say Ukraine? Because we know that China's helping Russia. Okay, anyway, United States Postal Service. I know, I take away all of your fun. But you have an entire buffet of fresh water and TREATS, and you have two kinds of food. And you'll get a third kind of food this evening. Go eat. Okay, I don't know if he's going to be able to pull this off. Things are not going as well for Dumpy as he would like. Good. With the whole institution stuff and him making $1 bazillion while destroying the economy. But this is his big action. That's a whole lot of damage. But new MAGA start, new thing he's doing is with his bludgeon. There's the chariot, but here's the hanged man, which might not be good for workers, and then hemmed in. So what it feels like is this is a lot more legally complicated than he thinks. You've got to get Congress involved on this. Yeah, his executive order nonsense is not going to work for this. So, La. Yeah, it's going to the courts. Yeah, he wants to gut the post office. Loud judgment. There's the United States. There's the Justice card. All major arcana. Courts will get in his way. Okay. Can I just remind everyone that apparently I don't know that is he talking to someone from the leader of Italy right now? I thought he was talking to somebody the other day from somewhere in Italy, because the look on the translator's face when he said the U.S. has been a great friend going all the way back to the Roman Empire. I mean, the look on the translator went, Sunila, could you please remove that comment? We don't talk that way. It's a daytime show. We have little kids around, and oh no, Excuse you? You think you're hiding? Just touching his tail. Just touching it. I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you. Actually, I'm touching your tail. Just touching your tail. Which bugs him. I guess my barrier wasn't good enough. Well, come on. Oh. There. Okay. You're being very naughty today, but that's okay. All right, so that's not going to work well for them. So then, all right, I'm actually going to skip that for now. We're going to go at 41:30. Tammy had a question, and I would say, this is ridiculous, but look where we are. So Tammy was asking, the troops he's sending to the border will be on tribal land. Is this how he's going to start deporting Native Americans? Back across the Bering Strait? How? And it's like, you can't deport Native Americans. They were here first. And then it's like, oh, then again. So there's already, what I've heard is that there's already people who live on, native people who live on these reservations are being told to carry their ID with them at all times. But yeah, deporting Native America. Exactly, Warrior Witch. It's like, what? So the question is, are they actually going to try this? Paula says ICE has already been rounding up Native Americans, and they are advised to carry their ID. Yes. Which says, Goddess bless, I hate this entire timeline. Paula says ID meaning tribal card. Yeah. Girl says, before they get deported, every white American has to leave. Yes. Oh. Okay. Grace says, we volunteered for this time. Yeah, I know. Disappointed. We're all feeling very disappointed. See, my belief is that, and I don't expect anybody to agree with me, but I believe that we get very excited when there's an opening, when there's an opening for us to be in this lifetime, for us to come down to this plane. Us and our guides, I picture kind of like NASA astronauts and their teams of people who help them. And it's like, there's an opening here, you could go. And it's like, yay, we can go. But it's dangerous. And once you're there, bad things can happen. And I think there are I think there's both fate and free will, which makes no sense. But then again, according to physics, all time is simultaneous, actually, and the entire universe from beginning to end has happened already. The entire universe, beginning of time to end of time. Boom, it's over. But we're just taking the long way around. One does not simply walk into Mordor. But That's my opinion. And I don't think anyone deserves being in pain all the time. And no, anyone who's going through something bad right now, I don't believe they should come back and be tortured. That's not right. No one should be tortured. But as far as the native population, he can't come up with a good enough excuse right now. That's what I'm getting. This is legally dead in the water. They would like, the moneymakers would like that, but he doesn't have the mojo here. So good. Really? Okay. I would advise people to be careful, because there are individuals who could end up okay. Okie dokie. Just so you are aware, and I'll make this brief, because both Chaotic Star and Cindy Lou are asking, what incentives have been given to ICE agents to be so aggressive toward people? ICE is also setting these people up to show up in court, meeting them and dragging them off. Yes. There are quotas. There are literally quotas that they have to meet. You can Google it. There's a link in the description box with more information on that. But officially, yes, they have quotas of people, the number of people that they have to kick out. That's where that's coming from. Will this unhumane snatching law-abiding people off the streets, will this unhumane snatching law-abiding people off the streets anytime soon? I'm guessing stop anytime soon. Your vote matters. I know I'm talking to the choir, but Trump says about Powell, termination cannot come fast enough. What is it? Oh, I've forgotten. What is the tone in the Terminator? You realize we're only on day 80 something? What day of the dumpy administration are we on? Question mark. Oh, not turnip. Although, oh, come on. Okay. How many? I'll ask you to look it up for me, please. How many days? 87. Thank you, Chris. Google. I am disappointed. We're 87 days into this. This is why we have to hold together, and we have to be kind to each other. So, Lois says 8,362. That's what it feels like, yeah. Tepsi says, it's been 87 years. Yeah, just grabbing people. Yeah. Oh, it should be that way. Just grabbing people. Queen of Cups. It didn't used to be this way. The plan, there's Dumpy, the awful, disgusting human being he is. We're not in a position of strength at the moment. I am not liking this Chariot card that it ends with, because this is big movement. So there's more dumb stuff, and there's stuff we're going to learn after the fact, because they believe firmly in it's better to beg forgiveness than ask permission, only their version of we do what we want. Yeah. Warrior Witch says, I'm having a PTSD reaction every time there's breaking news. Well, okay. All right. Around here, we're not into violence, and we don't want him unalived. We don't. Vance is not the solution here. But, okay, I just want to say this. There is a running joke, and it is a joke, on YouTube Shorts, TikTok, what have you, of people getting excited when there's every time there's breaking news. Breaking news. Oh, such and such happened. And they don't even say what they're excited about. But because they're like, clicker, turn up. Oh, something about the economy. Okay. So there's some people who get very excited. They end up a little disappointed, but there's some people who get very excited about breaking news. Just throwing that out there. I'm not saying you should. Just throwing it out there that there is a different perspective to take. So, you've had an exciting day. Yes, you have. You've had a very exciting day. And you're right in front of the microphone. Yes. So I could just scoot you this way a little bit. I don't think I can move this very far. No, I can't really move it very far. But there he is. There's a Bailey Boo. He's a good boy. Okay. So, and just having a quick look to make sure to see if there's something it's time sensitive. 1 second, just looking, reading. And okay. This is Rose Allen had a question, a semi-international question, I guess. British Columbia's premier is talking about tolls on trucks hauling freight to Alaska or closing the inside passage to cruise ships. This would cut off Alaska to anything but air. And I've watched a lot of videos on YouTube there's one in particular, a woman who was living in her van, but she got a more rugged car because she wanted to drive to Alaska. She lives in her car. And apparently, if you try driving from the northwest corner of the continental U.S., and you try to drive up through Canada to get to Alaska, there's a long stretch where it's just a gravel road. And apparently the rocks get up in the wheels, and this is not something you want to do alone. It's not nice. I don't understand why it isn't paved fully. I would have thought it would be, just a regular highway. But I guess maybe it's too expensive or the ice or whatever. But it's not great in the first place. Chris Cole says Washington State to Alaska. Well, there's more than one place to cross and get across to that road that goes up to Alaska. It doesn't matter. Kat says most of it is paved now, but it's very remote drive in places. Okay. Because she put out her video in the last number of months. And she ended up on the very big unpaved, and she got rocks up in the undercarriage. And yeah. So the card of bad judgment. Guess who that is? Canada's minding their own business. And along comes President Dumpster Fire, Fantafura, and his legacy. And, well, we should be able to do whatever we want. This is his base of power. It's my Mar-a-Lago card. It's not literally Mar-a-Lago, but his base of power. And burdened by their own stupidity. And that would probably be the premier in a position of strength, whereas Dumpy and his ilk are burdened. If he keeps pushing Canada, things could just go from bad to worse. Tricia says, I know folks who have rode motorcycles on that road to Alaska. Whew. Brave. And again, I'm not an expert. I watched a video recently. So that would seriously mess with commerce. And the businesses along that road, although after a point there aren't that many, would be very unhappy. Kat says there are only 3 ways to get to Alaska. Oh, no, you don't mean modes of transport, because it's like, aren't there normally 3? Anyway. It's an airplane, 1 road, in, and a ferry ride. There we go. Sherry says, we Canadians did not start this fire. We know. We're not blaming. No, I'm not blaming Canada for anything. But that's the merchants. That's businesses. That's a card for the reading. Temperance. Stirring, but stirring things up. Again, that awful plan. Fruits of labor, star. Okay, it's not. It doesn't feel like it's imminent, but there's. If Trump keeps pushing, again, we're only on day 87, so there's a lot more that could come, and that's why we get together every day. We go through the news. We go through this together. I bring art every day. We have new questions. We talk to each other, and we're going to get through this, but it's not easy. Card for the reading. At 1 hour. Card for the reading. That was good. Sure, Jan. At 1 hour in, Our card for the day is the Queen of Cups, and that is us. That is the Democrats. That is us working together. Quite often for me, for some reason, I get queens they're not always individuals. Sometimes they're groups. This is us. And we're not going to give up. That I have seen over and over and over and over. I have never once seen us giving up. The side that believes in what America is supposed to be. I love the ideals of this country. And rights. I believe in human rights too. And so do you, or you wouldn't be here. We are on the right side of history. And you don't need to change. They need to change. You need to endure. And we're doing that together. Okay? All right. That's going to do it for me for today. But we're in this together. You're not alone. We're in this together. There are good days ahead. So please hang in there. Please hang in there. All right? It's 1:18 p.m. here in Chicago. At 3 o'clock, I'll be over on the Creative Sprints channel. You're always welcome to work on whatever you want to work on. And we just want to encourage you with whatever you want to do. All right. Other than that, I'll be right back here tomorrow. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. You looked at the news, you got through it. Maybe go have a cup of cocoa. Maybe go do something nice for yourself. So, all right, take care, and I will see you tomorrow.